So for the last week, we've just started chasing kingfish, and the first trip I did, which you'll see on here, is a trip with Jaden and Jason up the Gippsland region. And we got up to Jaden's place at Lake Bunga and decided that we still had 3 hours of daylight, so we'd go out and have a quick fish for some estuary species, some flathead and some bream, which isn't something that I do a lot of, but it was actually really good. We were only out on the water for about 4 hours and we landed 6 or 7 flatties on plastics, and Jason got into a few bream, which he loves. And then from there, all the footage you'll see after that is 2 separate trips we did on the Kingfish. One was in Jaden's boat, and then the other one, I landed a few fish in my sea wasp, which was awesome and great fun doing it solo. So I'll show you a bit of footage of how I'm rigged for kings, and then you'll see some estuary stuff, and then it'll be into the kings, the back end of this video.
Alright, so it's coming into the best time of year, my favourite time of year, where we start chasing kings. It's the 23rd of December. It's very early. There's effectively no reports. There was one decent fish caught down at Portland a few days ago. A few rat kings, some being caught in the rip, some as high up as sort of Boat Morris, but really just fluke catches. But with the warm water pushing down the east side of Australia, that's sort of the currents that I tend to chase. I haven't done a lot down Portland way, but I do a lot around Welshpool and further north. So got Jaden and Jason Taylor that we're going fishing with today. Jaden's had a Christmas party, so he's a bit hungover. We're supposed to leave at sort of 9 or 10, and it's turned into 12, we reckon. But I just thought I'd run you through roughly what sort of gear we'll be using to chase the kings and the rigs. So yeah. Now there's a whole different bunch of ways you can rig for kingies. And don't take what I say as gospel, but this is how I've had success and how I've been taught. Also, don't mind the old $100 stick. It's all I've been able to afford after I got robbed. But anyway, this is about a 10,000 size Daiwa, one of the new BGs. That's 50-pound braid, should be more than enough. Some guys like to go real heavy on them and lock up, and other guys like to go real light on them and let them run and tow them off the reef. But 50 is your sort of perfect middle ground, and you can sort of do either. Unless it's a 30-kilo king, it'll be a bit of a disaster. But don't get too many of those. And then from there, just tie an FG. That's 80-pound that I'm running. And I just do like a rod length and a half. And then from there we just tie straight to a swivel. No sinker, don't put any sinker on yet. Just tie straight to a swivel, but with a snelled rig, and I run 8.0 live bait hooks. But I don't make those rigs until we've got our baits, because we chase arrows where we're going, and the size of the arrows can vary heaps. But if you can sort of make your rig up to the average size of the arrows you've got, so you can pin them one in the top and run at the bottom of the hood, and there's not too much loop in the line or anything like that, it'll just help them swim better. So save making your rigs until you're out on the boat. Either that or make up 10 different rigs that are all different lengths and hope for the best. But it's really simple to tie a quick snelled rig. It should take, 1 or 2 minutes to do that. And then all we do to tie our sinkers on is just use an elastic band. And all you do is you just twist like so. Do that sort of 5 or 6 times. And then you put this end through the sinker, and you put the whole sinker through this end. And that will just hold the sinker there like that. And then the best thing with that is the elastic band obviously doesn't have a crazy strong braking strain, so if these things do reef you and it is your sinker that often hits the bottom first, that'll just bust off. So be prepared to lose some sinkers, but that's the way that I do it. Other guys will run inline sinkers, works perfectly fine. Some guys just run a Western port rig and just run it straight off an easy rig, also fine. I'm just showing you how I would set up, and you know, feel free to take someone else's advice on how to do it. The other way we fish them is with live baits like yakkers, slow mackerels. You can use a small salmon, you can use big salmon too. Cooter, you know, any live fresh baits that you can get out there on the day that are going to make a lot of noise in the water. And the way we do those is just with a single hook, same thing, that's an 8/0 live bait hook, and bridle it. So that's just a piece of leftover braid. Make sure you try and get them, you know, the right length. That's my sort of rough gauge. You know, just a half a finger's length apart sort of thing. And then all you do to bridle is you double that over and pull that through. So that will hold it on there. And then from there, you put your spike on that end, you slip it on, you pierce the fish through there, through the top of the eye usually. I'll try and show you this when we're out there if we get one. And then you just go back over the hook, and then you twist it, twist it, twist it. And then that there will hold your fish. Your fish will swim down here, and that will be a hook away from the front of its nose, and just means the fish can really swallow the live bait, and then you've got plenty of hook exposure.
Bloody?
You know him, Jace? About time, mate.
First cast,
About
mate.
time.
No, I was babysitting you, mate. Right, you know what? Macca's Floody Guides. There you go.
Old Chompers Charters.
Chompers.
Work, Jace.
It's a brim. It is a brim. It's a
brim.
Fuck
Oh,
me.
that's a good one.
It is a fucking brim. Jesus Christ.
Just watch your language, mate. There's kids that watch this channel.
Oh, it's a nice one too.
Good work.
The brim homo catches his brim.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Shaden. I thought we were friends.
Man, I'll go the hand.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm glad you got a brim. That's what you
Yeah,
wanted.
that's what I wanted.
Good one. That'd be 40. 40s. That'd be, yeah, that'd be,
It's a little tank.
that'd be 40. That'd be, yeah, that'd be.
Oh no.
Oh, no. I just thought it was bigger than that.
What's the official?
Official
39.
is
39. Howdy, Jace?
well, you know, 39.
You were
still
due.
take it.
You were due.
Yep.
Hey, you gotta get a photo of Brody and I together with this brim.
We'll get some video evidence. Peter Clinch, this one's for you.
Black snapper.
Black snapper.
We're on.
Beautiful.
Brim boy.
Oh, yeah, there's a ball, there's a brim there.
It's a brim, because I felt that.
I'll write down.
It's not as big as the other one.
No, he's not, but some nice balls. Text that now.
Oh, actually, he's pretty good.
Oh, this is going to fall apart, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all, yeah.
He is pretty good, and he's only just
Straight back into it.
Nothing's in.
Nothing's in.
Did you get on the last one? Oh, no, probably, maybe similars. Healthy fish.
Yeah. Brim from Lake Tyres.
Just use your jigging rod.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
So we didn't get any footage, but Ace Chase rigged a beautiful bait for us.
Yeah, mate, that's what I do.
And we landed our first kingy of the season. So hopefully we can get another. We had our other live bait hit. If we get another, we can get some footage of it. Back into Victorian Kings. Off the flathead yesterday. I'm the king of the flathead now as well. It's good to be back into them just before Chrissy. Beautiful. Accommodation for the night down at Venus Bay. Right, it's 4:15 in the morning and we're shooting down to Welshpool today. I got my mate Luke, his younger brother Juz, and his older boy Ian in their boat today, and Josh Fab in his little red Haines, which you might have seen one or two times now. So we're just about to shoot off and hopefully we get some kings. So I've gotten out here to White Rock. It's almost midday now and really struggled to get bait, but it's just me. This morning I was next to Luke and him and Jars got 6 arrows and a calamari. I was literally like 5 meters away from her. I could not turn a reel. And then Josh called us in later, like we got to the rock at about 8 AM. And then ran out of bait, just getting picked. And then Josh was like, oh, I've found some bait, some slimies and some yakkers. Come over. So we've gone over. Josh is literally pulling them in front of my face. He picks up leaves. I start dropping. I'm sounding the school up and I can't find anything. Can't get anything. Can't turn a reel again. So I've got one half alive yakka and one dead arrow out the back, and we'll just have to see how we go. Bad one. Oh my god, that smoked me. Still is. Oh, I just called Josh in, that completely took me by surprise. That was on the whole dead arrow. And then I accidentally left the bail arm open on my casting rod. So that snagged on my yakka. But let's just get this in first. Some gourd runs, proper fish. These kings, I don't know if I got the footage of it, but I backed the drag off. He was smoking me and I just backed it off and he stopped. You go harder, they go deeper. Get the fuck out of me. Yeah, oh, admittedly I chased you over here. I saw you pull one over the side.
Brad. So good. Alright. That's a Victorian Kingfish. Sorry about the blood. Try and get some more. Don't have much bait. Hey, can you grab some photos of me? Yeah. So that was on my last full arrow. I wasn't expecting it. I actually saw a bunch of other boats casting and jigging, and so obviously someone was sounding up fish, and I didn't sound up any, and just absolutely smoked me at the start there. Went really hard. It's good. Probably a 5-6 kilo fish, similar to the one we got at Conran. So yeah, let's hope we can get another one. I've only got squid strips now, but I bought them on squid strips before, so see how we go. Smoked. Old mate behind me just told me off for driving through them. They swam under the boat and they hooked up, so he cracked it. This one's on the whole yakka, hopefully it's a little bit bigger. Alright, we've got colour finally. There we go. There's number 2. He was actually on the surface. Took my yakka down deep, but I was following the school. It's fucking cool. Alright, just back in at Singapore Deep now. Waiting for Lukey over there, he's just pulling anchor up. He actually came back in for a gummy fish, but luckily I stuck it out with my 2 baits and pulled some fish. It's blown up a little bit now, so we're going to head back in at 2:30, so I'm pretty happy with that. By the time I'm cleaned up and home, it's dinner time. Hopefully it's served up for me. Fresh kingfish sashimi. Happy days. I'll show you the fish when we get back.